Hello everyone and welcome back to EAC, and today I'm starting a brand new series called Movie Night. And the main gist of this series is I'm going to sit down, watch a movie. Today it's going to be 2001 A Space Odyssey. I'll talk about it more later. I'm going to sit down and watch the movie, and then after I watch the movie, I'll give you guys my first reactions to it. It could be a movie that I have not seen before, like 2001 Space Odyssey. Again, I'll talk about the movie and how on earth I've not seen this classic movie ever before. Or it could be a movie that I have seen or maybe haven't seen in a while and I'm revisiting it to see if I like it as much. Or it could be a really bad movie that I'm seeing how bad it is. It could be I'm with a friend and they haven't seen a movie and they're watching it for the first time, but I have seen the movie. I could see one coming up, maybe one of me and my friend Ben. We're both big horror movie fans, and I've seen The Exorcist and he has actually not, and I just got it on Blu-ray. If you guys watched my second channel video, new Blu-ray unboxing or something like that it's called, in which I opened this and The Exorcist and some other Blu-rays that I got. But yeah, I could see that type of video in this movie night format, you could say, in the future, of me and my friend Ben sitting down to watch The Exorcist and his first time seeing it again, and then after we watch it, we give our reactions to it. This series is based off specifically a YouTuber that I watch, one of my favorite movie reviewers, and I think he's up there for like one of my favorite YouTubers, just that, not specifically movie reviewer or anything like that. He does a series like this. I don't think he's done one in a little while. I think the last one he did was like a year and a half or 2 years ago, something like that. And he sits down, watches a movie. He calls it Movie Night. And after the movie, he talks about it. And I was hesitant to make these types of videos because I didn't want to seem like I was copying him. I would never do that to not just him, but any YouTuber. I would never try to copy their series. But I looked it up and it turns out that a ton of people have done this. I just decided to make one because I really wanted to make these types of videos. But today, I'm watching 2001 A Space Odyssey for the first time on Blu-ray, the remastered version, which the audio is, I'm pretty sure the audio is just, it's restored and remixed 5.1 audio, and original 1968 theoretical audio formatted for 5.1. I'm going to watch the remaster because it'll probably just sound better on a newer TV like I have. But yeah, I'm going to be watching this. I've not even seen the movie yet, as I said earlier. This is one of the only, I would say, big cinema-defining movies that I have not seen yet, and that's the reason why I buy on Blu-ray. As you can see, it's in the plastic still. I have not opened it. I have not watched it again, and this will be my first time seeing it. And afterwards, I'll talk about the movie, and the main reason why I want to make this series, not just because it's kind of a cool concept, you could say, but also these are going to be for videos that I don't want to make a review on. I mean, I could, after I watch this movie, I could probably make, again, I haven't seen it, so I can't say that much, but I could probably make like a 4 or 5 hour review on it, going off of what other people have said about 2001, but just, that's kind of the point. Everything about this movie that has been said has already been said. I feel like I can't really add anything new to the table, so I think that would just be kind of a pointless review, because again, other people have probably talked about other things that I haven't even thought of yet, let alone stuff that I would say in my own review. This is kind of like a short review also, because I watched the movie, and then after the movie, I give you my first thoughts on the movie. It's not really a review. I might give my grade, like 1 to 10, what I think of the movie. So yeah, that's kind of the reason, one of the reasons why I want to make these types of videos. So it would be for movies that I either don't feel like reviewing, don't think I should review, movies like this because everyone else has said a ton of other stuff and I can't add anything new to the table again, or movies that, again, I just don't feel like reviewing. It might be a really bad movie and I just want to say like one word about it, like, oh, this movie was shit, and then just end the video there. That would be kind of a funny experience. But yeah, a lot of these movies I wouldn't feel like dedicating a whole video to, a whole review to, because I would just think it would be not a waste of time, well, some of them if it was a bad movie, but just a waste of your guys' time. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, anyways, back to 2001. Again, I've not seen this movie. I've said that like 100 times by now, but I just need to emphasize it because, again, this movie is a classic. I'm really excited to watch it for the first time. Again, I said this earlier, but I just got this movie on Blu-ray like a few weeks ago, along with some other movies that I might be making movie night videos on, in the future, like The Exorcist with my friend Ben. Maybe, that might be happening. I just thought of that movie, and I was like, oh, I could make that with my friend Ben because he hasn't seen it yet. But yeah, so what I've heard about this movie, at least, is people say that it has a lot of really long, quiet takes, and they say that they recently redid the trailer for this movie because again it came out in 1968, and trailers back then look nothing like trailers now. But they remade the trailer, I think, in 2018. I'm pretty sure to commemorate the new Blu-ray coming out, because that would be kind of weird to make a trailer not going with a new Blu-ray release, because this is the newest version of it. It came out in 2018, and I think the trailer was remade in 2018 as well, so that kind of goes along with it. Again, a lot of slow, long takes of human exploration, going from the dawn of man scene with the apes down to the last scene, which I don't understand yet because I haven't seen it. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch this. This is 2 hours, it's like 2 hours and 40 something minutes or something like that. It's crazy. Stanley Kubrick directed this, of course. I mean, it says it right there. He is one of my favorite directors of all time. I think he is the best director of all time. And I don't know why, I've been watching a lot of videos about him, like on YouTube and whatever, and I don't know, it makes me want to watch this movie even more than I already did. So yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to watch this movie, and then after 2 hours and 40 something minutes later, I will sit down with you guys right here once again and talk about the movie. I'm not going to film myself watching the movie because that would just be ridiculous. You guys just sitting here watching me like this the whole time, or filming the TV, because I feel like 1 second of footage could get me copyrighted. But yeah, I'll do some transition, I think. Like maybe one of the last scenes of the movie I'll just put in there to transition me from here to after I watch the movie, and then I'll talk about the movie. So here we go, my first movie night video, watching 2001 A Space Odyssey. Let's unwrap this first of all, because again it's still in the plastic, and put it in the Blu-ray player, and here we go, watching 2001 A Space Odyssey for the first time ever. Alright guys, so just opening it up now, taking the plastic off it. Of course the slip cover is off it right now. And there we go. Let's open it up. With one hand, that's like impossible. There we go. Oh man, there they are. Okay, the Blu-ray, oh no, special features. I thought it was the Blu-ray and the DVD, but the special features right there. It says it right there. And the Blu-ray right here. So let's take this out, put in the Blu-ray player, aka my Xbox. I just have the Blu-ray app that I use, because, you know, if you have this that could play Blu-rays, why would you need to buy the actual Blu-ray player, like a real one from a store? Okay, there we go. Put it in. We're gonna get some trailers probably before. There we go. And then, yeah, and then we'll see the actual menu for the movie. Okay, just waiting for it now. You can see me in the reflection of the TV. Oh, there we go. No trailers, actually. And look at that. Right where Hal is, it says play. Okay, here we go. My first time watching 2001 Space Odyssey, we could go to the scene selections. Up there to audio, subtitles, commentary, play. Here we go. Oh, there we go, the classic opening shot. I've seen this before. I mean, who hasn't? Oh, and the music too. Oh, there we go.
2 hours later.
Alright guys, so I just finished watching 2001 Space Odyssey for the first time ever, and I'm not even just saying this like for the video or anything. I don't know why I would do that anyways, but this is one of the most incredible movies I've ever seen in my life, and it's about time that I watched this. I mean, everything about it, I would give this a 10 out of 10. I'll just get that out of the way right there. I would give it a 100 out of 10. It was incredible. I mean, obviously it starts off with the dawn of man and like the apes and all that stuff. Going from that all the way to the end when it has the biggest like what just happened ending ever. And it takes a lot to understand it, and I know I don't fully understand it. You can't even, like, even if you had a 200 IQ like Stanley Kubrick did, you wouldn't be able to understand it. 52 years ago this movie was made, and people are still arguing about it, discussing it, like I am right now to you guys. Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke, who wrote the book, 2001, in which this movie was adapted on, obviously. Yeah, they made something insane. And this movie is rated PG, and I know that doesn't really matter for older movies because Jaws was rated PG, but this movie is scary. Like, it is especially scary at the end when Dave is, I don't even know what to call it. He gets into the area, I don't even know what to call it, again. He gets into the area where Hal's memory is to shut him down. And just that whole scene, every scene with Hal, and every scene in this movie is terrific. I want to go back to that Hal stuff later on. And also, a little Easter egg, or not an Easter egg, just a fun fact you could call it. Hal is based off of the computer company IBM, who Kubrick also shouts out kind of in this video. I've heard people say that because IBM is like on, I want to say like one of the iPads that's on there. I think it's just like he has a thing on his wrist or something and it says IBM like upside down. You could see it a little bit. I don't think it was one of the iPads because he predicted the iPad, people say. But IBM is a big computer company, and Hal was based off of the letters before IBM. So the letter before I in IBM is H, letter before B is A, and the letter before M is L, and that's how they got the name for Hal 9000. And yeah, my dad told me that when he came in here and saw me watching this, and yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. But anyways, back to when he shuts down Hal. After that scene, when his head's just going crazy, it's shaking a ton, and he blinks, and his eye is like a different filter. It's like weird colors as well as the stuff it's intercut with. Just regular shots of Earth. There's a big shot when, I don't know if it must have been like with a helicopter or something. It's going forward and you see the clouds, but you also see like land underneath it, and they put a weird filter on it. And the whole thing just makes you, it honestly kind of scares you. It scared me, not like, oh my god, that's so scary, but I was like, this is really unsettling. That's a better word for it, actually. And at the beginning of the movie with the Dawn of Man stuff, starting off with that, and they first discover the black monolith. I think that's how you pronounce it, and I think that's what the name of it is. But they discover it, and then later on, it appears on the moon. They dug it up on the moon, and that was also a scary scene, an unsettling scene, when all the astronauts go down into the excavated area of the moon where the black monolith was found on the moon. They go down there and they explore it for a minute, and then they all get together for a picture, and then this ringing sound starts happening, and they all cover their ears or their helmets, and then they look over, one of them looks over at the black monolith, and then it cuts to 18 months later, and also earlier in the Dawn of Man scenes when they discover it. And also the cinematography, that just made me think of one shot when it's facing up at the black monolith. You guys probably know what shot it is. And then the sun is going over it. Just the cinematography is incredible in this movie. And you just need to remember, you might see this movie and be like, oh yeah, that movie was good, it looked fine, like technically, with all the spaceships and the cinematography and stuff. This was made 52 years ago, and half of the stuff in this movie looks better than things we even have now, let alone like crappy CGI from the 90s that this beats. It beats stuff that we even have now in movies. But yeah, the cinematography is great, and also back to the Dawn Man scenes, that really incredible opera, you could call it. You guys probably know what the music is again, with all the singers, whatever you want to call them. Their voices start to rise, and then it starts getting a bit more hectic, like just the sound makes it more hectic. When that starts to happen, it jump cuts to space. And it's like, how the hell did that happen? We kind of understand what happened. It was showing the Dawn of Man, and then it just goes to space where our actual story, you could call it, picks up. But just imagine what people were thinking in theaters when they first saw that. And people didn't actually love this movie. They're kind of unsure about it. I'm pretty sure people actually thought it wasn't good because it didn't make sense. Even though you make the sense of this movie. You think of what the ending means and all that. And yeah, just I love those types of movies. Two of my favorites, like The Witch and The Lighthouse, you could kind of decipher what happened at the end of those movies. Actually, The Lighthouse is that's kind of a more defined movie, like you know how it ends and you don't really, I mean, you could definitely make speculations about that movie. Me and my friend Ben, who saw the movie, we have made a ton, and I've rewatched the movie a ton of times, but also The Witch, at the end of that movie, when she joins, like, the Witch Coven, or whatever you want to call it, Witch Coven? Witch Coven, whatever, and you could kind of make your own theories about, oh, this happened, and then this happened, and this happened because of this, stuff like that. The Shining, also, why didn't I say that? The end of The Shining, what that means, but people have made speculations about that, and are still talking about today, another Stanley Kubrick movie too. But everything I want to see in a movie, everything that I want to see in this especially, everything I was expecting to see, I saw it, and much, much more. And back to the Hal scenes, I said I was going to talk about this a bit earlier, but the scene when Hal, spoiler, in case you haven't seen it like I did before I just watched it, when Hal kills Frank, it is one of the most jaw-dropping moments I think I've ever seen in a movie. Or actually, an even bigger jaw-dropping moment is later, like a few minutes later, when he kills the rest of the crew besides Dave, who is out to get Frank, who he was like, oh, how'd that happen? He just flew out. He didn't know that Hal did it at that point, obviously. But when Hal kills the rest of the crew, it was just like, oh shit. It was an amazing scene. And as well as back when Hal killed Frank, when he like threw him out into space and it zooms in, or it doesn't zoom in, it just gets closer and closer, really quick cuts into the front of the pod. It shows that Hal was controlling it. And that was a great moment as well. This movie is full of great moments, and I had no doubt in my mind that it was going to be amazing. And I said earlier how I saw everything that I was hoping to see or expecting to see in this movie and more. This is what I thought it would be in a way, but also nothing how I thought it would be. Hopefully that doesn't make sense, but I'll try to explain it. This is a different movie. This is definitely not your sit down and eat popcorn and just enjoy the movie. You really have to think about this. You have to really be paying attention, even though there are a lot of long, drawn out shots that may go on for a bit too long. Just the ending scene, when it has like the different filters that I talked about, I feel like that happens for a bit too long, like maybe a minute, like 30 seconds to a minute too long. But besides that, this movie does have a lot of really long shots, and it could kind of challenge you to stay interested, you could say, at some points. And I had no problem with it, but I could see other people, especially like younger kids, I feel like you would just be sitting there bored out of your mind. But people like me and millions of others who actually sat down to watch this 2 hour and it's like 29 minutes. I kept on saying it was 2 hours and 40 something minutes. I was wrong about that. But for the people who sat down and watched it and actually really paid attention to it to try to understand it the best that they could, including me just now, like a few minutes ago, like 10 minutes ago, I just finished the movie. But it's mind-boggling to try to comprehend what just happened in front of your own face. It's just, I cannot put into words how incredible and how amazing this movie was. You guys probably all know this because you have probably seen the movie, but if you haven't, just go watch it. I have a ton more to say about this, but I think I'm going to end this video right here. Once again, go watch 2001: Space Odyssey. You probably have if you're watching me, because I'm a movie channel, but there are a ton of other movie channels out there. You're probably only watching me if you've seen every other movie channel out there. Or you're watching me just because I got lucky and you decide to click on a video like this. But yeah, I'm guessing you've seen this movie if you're watching this video. I can't tell you enough how amazed I was, and I keep on saying those words. Amazed, incredible, all of that. Those are the best words to describe this movie. It gives you multiple different emotions at once. kind of like how Hal can actually feel emotions in the movie, or they think he can. And I love that mystery, and I love the scene. I forgot to mention this. I'll be done soon, don't worry. But when Dave and Frank go into one of the pods to talk in private about Hal, because they think he's malfunctioning and they think that they should shut him down. The scene when it goes into Hal, into that little red dot that looks incredible to this day, and when it shows him reading the lips of what they're saying. It's like when you're sitting there and you're watching it, it's like, oh my god, he knows what they're saying and he is going to screw some shit up. That scene, as well as the conversations they have, I could talk about this movie forever, but again, I'm going to end the video right here. Thank you all so much for watching this first episode of Movie Night. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about 2001. Maybe recommend a video for me down in the comments to help me understand. So I'll end the video here. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed this first episode of Movie Night, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.